Okay, so you know, oh, good. Whew. Um, so I watched The Wall, right? The Climb for Gold. It's a new documentary on Netflix that follows four female climbers as they head to the Olympics. Because the last Olympics was the first to have rock climbing. You know what I mean? It was pretty huge, right? So there was this buzz. A few of my friends climb. I've climbed, you know, and so yeah, it was like, yo, this is pretty cool, right? Now it does kind of seem that the documentary come out a little late, you know what I mean? But I was like, all right, let's give it a look. So it's directed by Nick Hardie. He produced it. It's executive produced by Dan Kendall and Evie Efu, line producers. Music is from Nanita Desi. Hardy also handles the cinematography. It's edited by Emily West. Um, Sound is Rick Blyving. Um, you've also got, Tom Robson, add some music. There's Claire Winter, Alex Rosita, Ellis Fordsham, Andreas Del Cano, and Gwynna Williams. They all, did bits and bobs around. And yeah, the four climbers we follow: Shauna Coxsey, Janja Garnbret, Miho Nonaka, and Brooke Raboutou. Right, so the gist of the piece is this: a uniquely emotional documentary feature film that will touch the heart of audiences around the world. Four female climbers face the sporting challenge of a lifetime as they attempt to compete in the first ever Olympic climbing competition at the Tokyo 2021 Olympics. The Wall, the Climb for Gold follows four elite climbers: Janja Garnbret, Shauna Coxsey, Brooke Raboutou, and Miho Nonaka. Over an extraordinary 2 years, they battle through the Olympic qualifying events to earn their place at Tokyo, then face a grueling season of competition and training that sees everything put on hold when COVID forces the games to be postponed. As the young women confront their own mental and physical demons en route to Tokyo, the film reveals an astonishing, inspiring insight into what it takes to be an Olympian and ultimately what it means to be, ugh, and ultimately what it means to be human. Fuck off with that bit, right? Sometimes with these, they put in just unnecessary information and just bullshit. That, people, was unnecessary, right? What it takes to be an Olympian, boom, end it there. And what it means to be, fuck off. It's so ridiculous. And I will say, that was one thing about this documentary, right? It starts off with some ridiculous bullshit, right? And just the little clip that they kind of cut, when you hover over something on Netflix and it plays a little blah, blah, blah. Little clip is bullshit, right? So at the beginning, I was like, is this going to be bullshit? You know what I mean? Because listen, I watched some great motherfucking climbing documentaries. You know what I mean? The Dawn Wall, right? Obviously. What's the other one called? Can't remember the other one called with that other dude. Is it Alex something? I forget. But there's that one. And then 14 fucking peaks, right? 14 fucking peaks. So you watch these ones that are really good. And then, this one. And so it's just like, is this gonna cut it? And there's one bit at the beginning, and it's just like, you climb with your heart. And it's just like, fuck off. You do not. You do not climb with your heart. You can love climbing for sure, but you're climbing with that mental strength, because when you get to a point and you just, I don't know if I can fucking do this bit. I don't know if I can do this bit. Or if you've fallen off a route again and again and again, it's getting back on there. It's getting back on there and then pushing through. So climbing with your mind, you can say is climbing with your mind, right? It's climbing with your self-belief. Fuck climbing with your fucking heart. Ugh. That might just be me. But you know what I mean? So there's some goofy shit at the start. But it does really, man, it does really get you. I ain't gonna lie, really get you. And so we're following these 4 young ladies. It's I mean, they do introduce Miho kind of late, right? I kind of feel we're already on the others 3, and then suddenly Miho gets a mention, and it's just like, yeah, it's a little bit uneven in that respect, you know what I mean? But we get this insight into them, which is really interesting. I thought that was handled well, you know what I mean? Like a little, how they started and just all of this stuff. Sometimes, you know what I mean? I think sometimes you feel that shit could be pushed. Like when Brooke is talking, because Brooke's parents both climbed, right? So I think the question for Brooke would have been, all right, you say you love it, right? But how much of that is because you want to follow in your parents' footsteps? You know what I mean? Like if your parents didn't climb, would you still be having this desire to do it? But she does mention at one point that, yeah, sometimes it feels a bit of a burden because I can't study or I can't do the other things, right? So it's just like, how much of this is because your parents do it, right? And you're trying to live in that legacy, right? But I think as it goes on, we can see her realize her ability more. But yeah, I think there's times when certain questions could have been pushed, right? Because there's obviously these questions are being asked these girls, right? We have them talking and stuff like that, but it's all edited up. So you know what I mean? There's things that could be asked. So I would say there is that. There is this insight that I think it would be interesting to get. Like Shauna has surgery, and the surgeon's just like, I don't know if she can make it to the Olympics. There might not be enough time. So when the pandemic hits, boom, you've just got yourself an extra year. So you know what I mean? You would have thought, yo, let's talk to them about that. Be like, yo, how's it going? How much do you think this extra year will now give you to be able to do your goal? You know what I mean? There's things that I just thought, they kind of dropped the ball on that shit. You know what I mean? But as I said, we do get this insight into them. So you are with them, right? When we see them in these competitions, you are like, yo, how's Shorty gonna do? Right? Which is, that's a big thing. Because there's things that you can watch sometimes and you can be like, I mean, who cares? Right? But this, you are with all of these girls as they're on their climbs and they're doing things. I mean, we see them do the Olympic trials, which is the World Cup. And there does seem to be a lot of World Cups, which is just like, wait. How the fuck is there more than one World Cup? Like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? But I think you don't really know what the the qualifying process is, because it's just like, oh, if they finish well in this one, they get to the Olympics. But it's like, oh, is this it? Is this the only chance? Right? Or are there other opportunities to qualify? Because with athletics, right, there's the Olympic trials with some countries, but then other times it's, oh, you have these other events like the Diamond League and all of these things where if you do well, this would mean you could get to the Olympics, right? So there's these other opportunities, but they don't really make that clear if this is it, right? This is the one. You know what I mean? So I think there's that. It is like yeah, it's crazy. It's really interesting how they do it. And man, you are, because you can see like the struggle that they're going through and the doubt and just all of this, which is really good, really good. You do realize the commentary at these things is so trash. You know what I mean? It's just like, yo, what the fuck are you saying, you dumb motherfucker? Like when he's just like, yo, she's heavy metal climbing, and he's just like, what the fuck are you saying, dumb? You know what I mean? Now with the events, it is weird the way they display the information, because they'll go Janja 5th, Miho 7th, Brooke, and you're like, oh, okay, but what about the other girls, right? What about the person in first or second, or like show a leaderboard but highlight their names or make their names bigger? But they kind of did dirty on the other athletes. Like when they showed the Olympics, they didn't show who got bronze. And it was just like, yo, what the fuck? That's some dirty shit, right? Because it's the first Olympics. And yes, you're following these girls, but give the other people a little shine. It's not like you have to focus on them, but you can say their fucking name. What? What? Because this is the thing, right? It, you saw the camaraderie, because when we're focusing on Brooke and at the competition and with Brooke's parents and they're watching her, and then Janja climbs or Shauna climbs, hear her parents be like, oh yeah, that was a great climb from Janja. Oh, Shauna's really, oh man, Shauna's really good. And that was great, right? Because it's just like, it's not that, yeah, fuck those other people. You know what I mean? It was just like everyone's kind of rooting for each other in a way. So you saw that aspect of it, and that's great, right? That's the kind of thing you want to see, because everyone's working hard. You know what I mean? Regardless of, everyone's working their fucking, I was gonna say they're working their nuts off, but it's not really, yeah, it doesn't really work, right? It doesn't really work with this. But you know what I mean? Everyone's working to achieve this dream. So yeah, that is a nice thing to see. So that's what made it even weirder when you're not referencing who won that round of the trials or who finished fucking third in the Olympics. It's just like, what are we doing here? It's kind of weird. I hated the music. The music, like not the music, as a piece, but these musical beds under people talking. It was just like, just stop it. Stop it, you fucking idiots. We just didn't need it, right? There's enough emotion just in everything that we're watching. Like, chill. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy thing. Sometimes with these things, it's just like, where's the nuance on that? Right? We can see great camera work and all of this, good cinematography, but then they go mad heavy handed in one area. So that's a shame. And when you're giving the dates, it's like March 2020 or anything like that. Why does it have to be a little blurb in the corner, right? The bottom left corner of the screen. It's just like you can make it bigger because there's nothing, literally, there was nothing really on the screen. It's not like we're watching a climb or anything like that. So put it across the fucking middle. Make it bigger. Why have this tiny fucking burp? You know? Yeah, it was kind of stupid. At the end, they do a kind of a catch up with all the climbers, which kind of felt mad media, mad PR. You know what I mean? It didn't feel necessarily like the reality, the honest thoughts of everything. But it was a little nice touch to add that. So look, there are issues with this, but it does really key into the emotions when you're watching the climbs and everything like that. So I would say for sure, if you like rock climbing, if you like sports documentaries, The Wall, Climb for Gold, it's decent, man. It's definitely decent. It's just over an hour and a half, so it's not crazy long. So yeah, it's on Netflix, people. So there you go.